Morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time you're watching this. It's morning for me. I was doing my morning routine and I felt called to journal. So I did, and I received a message, a download that I feel I need to share. So it says, neurodivergents require rituals, but it must be specifically unique to themselves. It must function through love, not fear. Once neurodivergents wake up to their power, that is when the healing for the world will happen. It is not to overthrow the government. However, the old ways of being cannot continue to exist. We have to let go of the old to make room for the new. This applies to each individual and the collective's old limiting beliefs coming from a place of lack and fear. Neurodivergents, POC, and those who have been oppressed. Now is the time to take back your power, take control of your mind, your future, your fate. Observe and be curious about your thoughts and actions that comes from a place of lack, fear, that victim mentality. Flip a page. It's not just your trauma that lies within your subconscious. It's also your treasure, your creativity. That actually comes from a song. I can't remember what song it's called now, but it's by Valentina. Check her out. She's amazing. Face yourself. Truly get to know yourself and face those shadow aspects of yourself. Turn that pain into power. Because by seeing yourself truly for who you are, you're no longer afraid about you're no longer afraid of anything, because you've seen the depths of your soul, you've seen the depths of your ego, and you acknowledge and understand those parts of yourself. You're no longer dismissing, suppressing, shaming yourself or feeling guilty about something, because you are owning your truth. That's what it is. You have to start with looking at yourself first. We are so easy to look at other people, observe other people, judge other people, me included, by the way. Okay, I'm such an observer. I didn't even realize how much of an observer I was. And I observed so much about other people that one day it just clicked in my brain, and I was like, I'm knowing so much about people. I can pick up at people's energies, but I don't even know my own. I don't even know. I haven't even observed myself. And not necessarily in a nitpicky way, or observe myself in order to shame myself or anything like that. No, not at all. Observing myself is just literally just sitting back, seeing what comes through. And then when something comes up, you're like, okay, where did that come from? Why is that? Right? So since I've been doing that, I've been learning to observe myself. I really have come to face the depths of my emotions, the depths of my mind. And I continue to do so, by the way. There's no end goal here. It's a journey. It's about the journey. There's no end goal. So day in, day out, when something props up and I notice that, I'm like, okay, hang on a minute, what was that? What was that? And be curious. So once you've learned to face those emotions, those dark parts of yourself, and I think, I don't really say this to be obsessive about shadow work or your personal development journey. It's not about being obsessive about it, by the way. It's not about thinking, oh, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that because I want to be this person. And it's good to have goals, but also be patient with yourself, because it's not going to happen overnight. That is something that I've had to really learn. And I didn't fully understand how impatient I was, how impatient my ego was, because I'm the kind of person that I can see from A to B, but I'm too impatient. I have been too impatient to follow the journey, because I'm like, well, I'm not there yet. I know that it takes a while. I know that it's a journey, but there has to be that level of deep understanding and another layer of that wisdom, because I feel people throw around words so easily nowadays, and they don't fully understand what those words mean, like the depth of it, right? They just understand the surface layer of it, but they don't necessarily understand the words of it. That's why I'm so like the deeper meaning of that. And that's why throughout this journey, I've been very conscious and mindful about the things that I watch, the things that I consume, right? Whether that be movies or music, or even just things that I say to myself. I notice myself saying to myself. And when I notice this, I'm like, hang on a minute, that's not nice. That's not nice. Let's look at it from the point of view of grace and compassion, right? And sometimes your voice, this voice in your head, can be like, oh, but because of this, and it gets a bit loud. People have, there's people do no. Stop. Right? That's how people usually approach it, which I can completely understand, because it is overwhelming. But I think the way that the way that I approach it would be, if this voice in my head is my ego is saying so much and things are a little bit overwhelming. Some people just let the ego run through, by the way, run so freely, and they're not really even aware of that. But once you've achieved that level of self-awareness, and you notice your ego, your thoughts just saying all these things, I would approach it by going, wait a minute. What's wrong? What's up? Why are you saying this? Where is this fear coming from? Because my anxieties as a child and growing teenager and all this other, throughout my experience in this life, so many people have just gone, no, stop that. And that's actually become like an internal voice in my head. And I'm not doing that anymore. When I notice that, I'm like, okay, hang on a minute, let's slow down, talk to me. What's going on? And that gives you room, right? That gives you room for curiosity, and that gives you room to explore your mind, right? To explore and understand where this fear is coming from, where this voice is coming from, why are they saying that, what's going on, right? It helps give you a better understanding of what's up. So, going through that tangent, you have to face the steps of yourself. Don't run away anymore, right? Stop running away from yourself. Because a lot of people may have left you or abandoned you and left you on your own, and you feel that you can't rely on anybody else. Fair. I get that. And that's hard, that is difficult. But you have to show up for yourself. You have to really own it. Own your truth. Show up for yourself. What can you do for yourself as your own? This is in terms of reparenting yourself as your own parent now. How can you show up for yourself? What can you do? Be kind to yourself. Be kind. I'm getting tearful because I'm thinking about a situation of one of the people that's really close to me, and it breaks my heart to see that they haven't given themselves that chance to explore themselves. And that's not because they're choosing not to. It's more so that they have so much stuff going on that they don't have room, they don't have the capacity to explore themselves. And I fully understand that. And for me, as their friend, I just offer that space to just allow them to explore their mind, because I'm seeing things that they're not seeing. So as a true person that is committed and devoted to the people that are close to me, it is for me to, I have to be invited for it first and foremost, right? I can't just blurt things out sometimes, because some people don't necessarily need that. But when I am invited to offer my wisdom, I say it. I say it. And you're seeing this video now because God's telling you to show up. Show up. Show up for yourself. At the very least, you deserve that. Give yourself permission to be seen. Don't let these generational curses or belief patterns and traditions that no longer serve you, that doesn't even sit right within your being, right? Sometimes we have those specific familial cultural beliefs that we uphold so highly, and yes, there is room definitely to carry out traditions and pass that on. Not every tradition is healthy. There's plenty of traditions around the world that just, I'm not gonna get into it because I feel like I'm taking away from the essence of the message. But there's so many traditions, right? There's so many traditions, and sometimes they're not right. Okay, I will say, I think there's a tradition somewhere in an island somewhere in Germany, I believe, where I think it's called Klassen. I'm not sure. Anyways, you look that up yourself. But that's a tradition that's been passed down from generations, and we all can see that that's not a healthy tradition. So I'm going to leave it at that. Just know that, just know that you're meant to co-create with the universe. You're meant to co-create with God. You're not meant to stay in line. You have this unique essence of self. You are not meant to stay in line. You're meant to be different. You're meant to offer your own unique expression. As I said, we are meant to co-create with God, universe, source, spirit, whatever your flavor is, right? Do it. Do it. Girl, do it. This is your sign to do whatever it is that you've always wanted to do. Whatever it is that you love, whatever it is that you express. Let me share one more thing, sorry. Last thing. So, I've been attending bachata classes. Oh my goodness, I cannot speak. I've been attending bachata lessons recently, and I've been loving it. I mean, I've only had 2 weeks of bachata lessons, and I've been loving it. And last Thursday was my class, and I had so much fun in that class and the social afterwards that I woke up the next day, the first thing I thought about was bachata. Was bachata, girl. I was like, okay. And I'm like there in my bed, I'm like, and because I noticed myself thinking, and the feeling that bachata gives me, I'm gonna follow that, right? Because it's a way for me to express myself, and I'm following it. And it's not just one thing, by the way. There's many different paths to it. There's many different layers. You just have to discover it for yourself. In what way does God express themselves through you? That's your own unique expression. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. Yeah. I hope you have a good rest of your day, wherever you are. And give yourself that grace and compassion. As always, be kind to yourself. I'm so proud of you. I love you. You are doing amazing. Bye.